Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103GBFRocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Everybody, please welcome to the show, the $1 billion princess, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
I'll take that title all day. All day. Good morning, Rob. Let's just start right away. Let's get that backpack off. I want to know what's underneath it. What's our shirt of the day? What's our vegetable of the day? Our soup du jour.
The shirt du jour. By the way, I believe this rounds it out for me. I think this is my last one. But you have to give me.
You said that a month ago, and then you bought another round. I don't believe it.
It's been an impressive run of wrestling shirts.
Clearance has been amazing, pal.
Here we go. Saving the best for last, though.
And this is another $12 shirt?
This one was $12, correct.
Okay. The quality of these $12 shirts have been significantly upgraded.
Here we go. Ready?
That's it. Taking off the Roman Reigns vest. Oh, yeah! It's about time I see you in a Bret the Hitman Hart shirt, pal.
Can't have enough of them.
Man, he's coming to Altoona.
Dude, I saw that. I'm so jealous I can't be there.
I'm going to this thing.
Literally my second favorite city on planet Earth.
It's going to be Bret Hart and
Scott Steiner, James Ellsworth. Yeah, Gilbert, James Ellsworth. There were even more out there. That was an amazing lineup.
The Patriots doing some stuff.
Dell Wilkes?
It just says the Patriot. I don't know. Does anyone else play the Patriot?
It's got to be him. If you get a chance, he was the medicine man for the WWE for a very long, well, not a very long time, for a short period of time. But when he was there,
funny.
That's who everyone was getting their stuff from, allegedly.
I want to pull it up. Big Time Wrestling does that. They bring these guys in, and this will be Ellsworth's second time around at the Jaffa.
Awesome. This makes me happy.
Coming to the Jaffa Mosque. How does that look? Kevin Nash has been here before.
Wait, is Kevin Nash going to be there?
Not this time, but he's been here. He's been there before.
This is the famous venue where you met Sid outside and he charged your dad $20 for an autograph?
He did, absolutely. That's absolutely true.
Any other names you want to mention, or should we just move forward?
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Tito Santana.
That's not bad. I don't know what he's like now, but back in the day.
James Ellsworth is going to defend the World Intergender Championship. I think that's a great gimmick for him, by the way.
Sure.
Hornswoggle versus Gilbert.
Hornswoggle I don't care about.
Tito Santana. The Patriot, Flex Armstrong, and that's it. Bret Hart and Scott Steiner. Like Bret Hart's the biggie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the only person who might make more on that show would be Scott Steiner, but I think Bret probably doesn't.
The poster has Bret Hart here, like Bret the Hitman Hart, and then big pop-up pump is right to the one side, and James Ellsworth is on the other.
The only thing is.
Those are the three, and then it's Hornswoggle, Tito Santana, and then bing, 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 bing.
Like, but I don't think Bret won't be wrestling. Those other guys might be wrestling, which might make their fee go up. You know.
Well, no. So you can buy a Bret the Hitman Hart ticket, and the Bret the Hitman Hart ticket is $99, and it gives you a front row seat, a Bret Hart photo, an autograph, an event program, and a photo with you and him in the ring.
Goddamn, pal.
Goddamn, pal. $99. I'll go by myself. That's pretty good. Now they have other, they have a Scott Steiner combo. They have a sharpshooter package, meet and greet super ticket, is just
the Scott Steiner combo. I heard is $88 1/3.
You have a 33 1/3 chance of enjoying this show, pal.
That's
I have
cool.
145 2/3% chance. That promo, I think that's my favorite promo of all time.
You've been using it well here lately.
I feel like it's good. So it's funny. Your shirt and this big-time wrestling show in Jaffa both so much more interesting than Raw was to me last night.
See, I was worried. I thought you were going to be defending this one.
No, well, and I'll admit it right out of the gate. I watched a lot of Raw, but I did some flipping last night because the Steelers were on Monday Night Football. So I didn't watch it as intently as I sometimes watch shows. And even then, even with that, I still didn't enjoy it. Even missing some stuff that I'm sure was boring. I couldn't do it.
I thought it was tough last night, although the recap I have open in front of me seemed to be a bit more flattering. And maybe the problem with Raw, and I know I say this all the time, it's just so long. I literally did fall asleep at one point. I was able to, because I caught up on commercials. Like I only started like 15 minutes late, so I was like caught up on commercials come the start of the second hour.
Oh, that's brutal.
And then during, which match was it? It was like the first match of the third hour. I did fall asleep. It was the Elias and Bobby Lashley match. I did fall asleep because that got like 2 commercial breaks inside the actual match.
Too much. It's too much. And then what's going on with the Gable and Ascension stuff? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Do we need a singles match between Chad Gable and Connor? By the way, congratulations, Connor. I read today that was the first win he's had in singles competition since for like 3 years.
You know what was so weird? The only thing I could think about for this, which by the way, yeah, congratulations to Connor. It was so weird to me. This was literally right after they spent like 20 minutes about Connor's cure. And then the only wrestler ever named Connor, has a victory after all this Connor's cure stuff. I thought it was so weird.
Coincidence? I think not.
You know, listen, I love that they're good to the pediatric cancer and stuff, but that felt really long to me last night.
It was very long. And I mean, listen, they do a lot of good for a lot of people, and in radio, it's good to talk about the things that you do well, and the good things you do in the community.
Sure.
And the goodwill. It's good. I call them bragging promos, but they do serve a purpose for both you and the community. I didn't need 20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't 20 minutes, it felt like it.
I think that it was. I don't remember I didn't time it or anything, but yeah, it felt really self-gratifying. And also, it's also weird to me that they have Triple H and Stephanie doing that, and then on the rest of the show, they're super heels. They're super heels. It's really weird.
I didn't like at the beginning of the show. I thought what they did at the beginning of the show, because I figured they're trying to give us mystery for the end. They're setting up a Shield versus these 3 mystery people, and I was like, everyone knows it's the mystery people. It's going to be Braun Strowman and it's going to be Drew McIntyre. And it's going to be Dolph Ziggler. Like they're the only 3 that's going to fight these 3, right? It's got to be someone else because those are the obvious ones. And then the mystery opponents were the ones that everybody knows that they've been fighting forever. What a dumb move.
Wait, say this again?
Like I didn't like the whole thing at the end. I didn't like the beginning and the end. I didn't like any of it.
Wait a minute. So here's what I just heard you say. You said it's so obvious at the end of the night it's going to be Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman.
Who they end up fighting with.
But it wound up being Corbin and AOP.
I know, but they still got involved, and you just know you just know they're going to get involved. I must have misspoken.
It was weird because for some reason my head immediately went to AOP, and I don't know why. It's not like it was like forecasted or anything. For some reason, I thought this would be a really good spot for AOP.
I'm still waiting for them to come out with Paul Heyman.
Well, maybe. Well, they've got
Maverick.
Yeah, Drake Maverick. I also want to say, well, let me start at the very top because I'm the guy. For some reason, I update everybody on the signature at the start of the show. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I was back and forth a lot.
Totally redone. The then now forever thing is if you see it tomorrow or tonight, I should say.
I'll check it out at home because I taped it.
It's totally different. It looks cool.
Oh, okay. I'll check that out. I I should have, if I was paying more attention, would have known it was going to be AOP at the end, because you get to a certain point where you haven't seen AOP squash two jobbers. Because I always look forward to the jobbers they've been picking for them. So at that point, had I been paying closer attention, I would have known AOP was coming.
I only made one real note from the show about an inconsistency that I saw at the beginning of the show. So
Sure.
Stephanie and Triple H come out. They're upset that Baron Corbin put himself in a match with, someone from the Shield last week. So to punish him, they put him in a match with the Shield this week. Like, what the heck is this? I just can't stand that kind of stuff. And I was also getting confused. Is he done as acting GM?
I didn't get that either. I think they're back, but how long are they back? I mean, they've got to have he's acting GM until a new GM shows up.
Or are Stephanie and Triple H just the new authority?
For how long?
I don't know. I guess let's just say it's done. Has Baron Corbin come out of this stronger than he went in?
Yeah.
I would say a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gotten to show himself in more relevant matches. I mean, he's capable in the ring. His mic work is a struggle a lot of the time. He's very stiff and cardboardy, but he's been in a high-profile spot on the show, and
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I don't think his mic work is bad. It's
just stiff.
Yeah, it could improve, I suppose. I think the big buzzworthy moment of the show we can start with was definitely actually in a women's. Was it a 6-woman tag? Yeah, it was a 6-woman tag.
And it was an accident.
Yeah, it was Brie Bella delivering a set of yes kicks to Liv Morgan. And I mean, I know it always gets criticized whenever I use the term, but it seemed like Brie was working pretty dangerous there, pal.
Here's the thing, pal, and I'll say this. I saw the clip that you guys posted today. When I'm watching the Steelers on Monday Night Football and Raw, some things have to get sacrificed. And so I just sacrificed that match. I can't stand the Bellas, and I just fast-forwarded it. I did not see that match. I'm going to watch it again today. So I never saw the Ruby Riott receipt. I never saw Brie working dangerous. But that clip you guys showed, man, stupid. It's not even working dangerous. She was working stupid. She's kicking her in the face.
Yeah, and it looked kind of full bore. And I mean, my understanding is, at least as of last night, Liv was getting tested for a concussion.
So what happens after? Like, how long does it take before Ruby Riott gets her hands on Brie?
See, okay, I know that Mike was talking about this, but I don't remember anything about that, and I don't see anyone else talking about a receipt. So we can watch it. I don't know what to expect from that.
I'll have to watch it and see.
I would think if it was really noteworthy, that would have been attached to the video.
I mean, it could have been a subtle receipt. She could have cranked on her neck, like he said, or gave her a little too stiff of an elbow.
I mean, sometimes you just got to like give them one to, like slow down, like, like Brock and Strowman at the Royal Rumble. It's like, hey, this is, my life's in your hands here. Slow down, pal.
Yeah, but that was not subtle. That Brock would have knocked any other human being out.
Yeah, but he was feeling threatened. He was like, hey,
he was feeling threatened. He took a big knee to the face, and he just got up and bang, bang, bang. And he showed why Brock Lesnar can be in the UFC, because he would beat Braun Strowman in real life. He would. Oh
yeah, there's not many people in the back that I would take over Brock.
No,
there might. I don't know. I've heard that there was a shoot match off the air between Angle and Brock, and I think if I recall right, Angle won that, but this was back in like probably 02, 03, and but there's not many people I would take against Brock.
That'd be fun to watch, those two wrestlers. I mean, they were so good at wrestling.
Yeah, right, exactly. So so that was the big, that's what I called the video today, and it thought was the buzzworthy moment. That's what everyone's sharing this morning is, that. But there were other things like, okay, see, I feel
Brie's terrible. When are we going to get Brie Bella off of TV? She's going to be on tonight,
I'm sure she will be. I think
doubling up on the Bellas, man, it sucks.
I mean, hopefully, I would think after the Evolution pay-per-view, I would hope, right?
Yeah.
You know, that was another problem I'm having with Raw, and I was encountering this several times last night. So here's my problem. In my head, when I hear about the Super Showdown, in my head, I think that upcoming overseas show. And then when I hear about Crown Jewel, in my head, I think that upcoming overseas show. So I'm mixing them up in my head, and they're talking about one show, and I feel like every match that we've heard about is going to be on this Melbourne show, Super Showdown.
Right, and the Braun Strowman triple threat with Brock and Roman is not until Crown Jewel, but they're promoting all three at once, and it's so hard to tell.
Yeah, that's really getting to me. So wait a minute. Where are
and the women will be in Australia, so there are women's matches in Melbourne.
Right, but not Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
So yeah, that's bothering me. Not only that, it's annoying to me that they're building 3 shows at once. Like 2 is too many.
Yeah, they were building the Super Show 3 weeks before Hell in a Cell happened. I mean, they were bringing out The Undertaker and Triple H for promos, and I mean, it's hard to keep track, and I don't know any dates at this point. Like, I'm so lost. The only thing I know is that you're getting married mercifully over the Evolution pay-per-view, and I get to miss it.
You're welcome, pal. Yeah, that's one. We won't be able to recap that one. We'll blame it on my honeymoon.
And then the next year when they have it again, we're going to blame it on your anniversary.
You crack me up sometimes, man. So other things that happened on Raw last night. Is there anything you want? I mean, I can pull up my run sheet, or we can jump around. Is there anything that you? Oh, what about let me tell you my favorite part of the show, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Sincerely, my favorite part of Raw last night. Cross my heart, cross my Hitman, cross my Bret Hart. Leo Rush.
That guy's great.
He's great. I first of all, I'm so happy that there are like legit managers again. Like that. This is an era I want to go back to.
But I hope that they stick with it. Until they stick with it, I won't say that it's an era yet.
That's fair. I also think that I hope this leads to some sort of cruiserweight intermingling or integration, I should say. Like, I don't want its own show. I just want them to be a part of either the roster or the Raw roster, whichever we decide to do. That's what's killing 205 in the cruiserweight division.
Because they're putting on great matches. I'm seeing clips of their matches, and I'm like, whoo, I mean, that thing where they were doing out of the ring and then into a suplex or into a power bomb from out of the ring, and it's insanity what they're doing. No one sees it. No one's seeing it.
And if you just put it on Raw, you know, or even if you just went back to the way it was with the purple ropes and everything, it'd still be a big step up. But just don't even make them different. Just they're in the division, and the division is on Raw. And guess what? Sometimes you might see Leo Rush take on Kane or whatever.
I know it's not a popular opinion, and it's not something people say anymore, ever, and no one would ever say it to Vince McMahon. But I think in this specific case, he needs to go back, watch some tape, and take a page out of Eric Bischoff's playbook, because Eric Bischoff handled the Cruiserweight division in WCW exceptionally well, especially compared to what's happening now.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong about that, but WWE has also done it well in the past too. In the Attitude Era, and while there was a Cruiserweight division, you know, you could see Matt Hardy wrestle for the Cruiserweight title one week and then for the Intercontinental title the next month.
Well, why are they struggling so much?
I feel like it's because they have this show, which, by the way, I would think that the fact that they just moved time slots and went to a tape show would indicate that it's probably not going to be around that much longer. You're aware that they moved, right?
I wasn't, but I also was aware that they held us hostage when we went to SmackDown and forced us to watch 205 Live, because they knew everybody in that arena would get up and walk out if we weren't promised to see all of our favorites in a mixed tag at the end of the night.
So check this out. My understanding is they're now taping before SmackDown and they're running it on Wednesday. So it's no longer Tuesday live after SmackDown. It's Wednesday taped like before or after NXT, I think before.
Because it was getting in the way anyways. They were promoting the Miz and Mrs. but their 205 Live show was on at the same time. They're promoting something for USA, and they've got their show. They've got their mixed match challenge now,
But imagine how much smoother that taping would have been that we went to in Evansville if they did 205 Live before it. The crowd would have been much more into it.
Absolutely, because before the show starts, everybody just wants to see some lights and they want to hear some.
Right.
By the end of it all, we've seen everybody we want to see. We just want to see them again fight.
Yeah, we're ramping up in excitement and not down.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it. But I would think, like I said, because it's no longer live and they just change days, I would think that it's a matter of time at this point. Not immediately, but somewhere in the next year or so, I would say 205 Live will be 205 Dead.
And then that's a great name. And then that will get our Better Luck NXT Time Award.
It's the actual 205 Live.
The whole show. That whole show is sucky.
So I'm assuming you probably would pay attention to the Kevin Owens show.
Yeah. I watched a lot of it, but it was during matches in particular. I just flipped a little bit.
Listen, for me, it was, here's what I'm doing during the matches, pal.
The Steelers had that game in hand to the point where I didn't think I needed to watch the Steelers anymore, and then they almost blew it.
Who'd they play?
They were playing the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay.
The Steelers won, right?
Yeah, but when I stopped really paying attention, it was 30-10, and then the next thing I know, it's 30-27 because they're idiots.
Are they solid this year, the Steelers?
No, they're bad. This season isn't a lick of fun. They tied the Cleveland Browns.
They got that's right. That was like the first game in like years that they hadn't lost, the Browns, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And then didn't the Browns come back and get a victory? Was it over the Bills?
The Jets. They beat the Jets on last Thursday, and that whole city went bananas.
Which one? Cleveland?
Cleveland went crazy. Well, listen, Bud Light had this whole promotion. They had these giant Bud Light coolers and big refrigerators full of free Bud Light. Free. They put them in every bar in Cleveland, and then they locked them. And they said, we'll unlock these free beer coolers when you win. And so that night when they won, there's a funny tweet from the Cleveland police. It said, "Oh, thank God we finally got a win. Oh, no, the free beer."
How long had it been?
Over 600 days or whatever.
So what's that, like 2 years?
Yeah, 2 seasons. Listen, one season they won one game, and then the next season they won no games. None. At all. And then this season they started with a tie, but that's not a win. It's a mess.
How do you end in a tie? Don't you keep going into overtime?
No, in football, unless it's the playoffs, you get an overtime, and that's a 15 minutes. And if somebody doesn't score or win in that 15-minute period, sorry, pal, tie.
Gotcha. Want to keep, I got the run sheet open if you want to discuss anything else over here.
Yeah, Kevin Owens show, go. Give me your thoughts.
Oh, well, my thoughts were, I mean, it all built to the Leo Rush thing. I loved, I figured you probably popped for the booster seat. It's just great.
It's so good. It's just like last week with like, whose kid is this? And now the booster seat.
Yeah, I'm really digging that. So that was the highlight for me. Let's talk about other things. Oh, okay. I started about this earlier.
Bobby Lashley wins in this, right? Bobby Lashley is the big winner in Leo Rush pairing.
I think Leo is. Bobby's a winner, but I think Leo is the winner.
I don't know. I think Bobby was on life support already.
So I feel like I've made this complaint. It's kind of like, it's like a backhanded compliment, I guess, because Raw has been doing this a little bit here and there lately, but it's a compliment and criticism. So I like how they're kind of giving us a show-long angle, but it's always just like kind of weak. I like that they're trying, but it kind of misses with me. The show-long angle last night was Dean Ambrose not sure if he wants to stay with the Shield or not.
Yeah, which I thought was a little forced.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem believable to me, but I do respect them for trying. Like, it was better than not doing it, but it could have been better.
Sure. If they're going to plant any seeds, you'd think they'd plant it for Seth Rollins, who betrayed them before.
I liked how they singled out Dean because he doesn't have a belt, and he just came back from injury. He was been replaced. Like, there was elements of reality there. And then they kind of turned the tables on Drew McIntyre. So that kind of allowed for it to build a little bit, but I wish it would have been executed better, I suppose.
They're doing what they can with these 6. I like this feud, but at some point we're going to have to get the blow off. We're going to have to get to the end here.
Dolph and Drew beat the Revival via pinfall.
I thought that the Revival could end up pulling that off at one point.
It was a solid match. All the in-ring seemed fine last night. I guess I wasn't at the point where I thought Revival was going to win, but I still think there's hope for them. I'm not writing them off yet.
They're very good.
They are good. So is AOP. AOP got in the main event last night, but I don't feel like they're main eventers yet, but they did get a main event rub there.
Sure. I mean, it's just like in the Attitude Era when, like, if, Mr. McMahon would bring out Val Venus or something. Val Venus is in the main event, but he wasn't a main eventer.
Did you just do a impression of Jerry Briscoe?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mr. McMahon.
Mr. McMahon. I like that, Jer. Nice.
Mr. McMahon. I always liked Jerry Briscoe. Had a birthday last week.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Happy birthday, Jerry Briscoe.
Let's see. Finn Balor defeated Jinder Mahal via pinfall. Outside of the match, it kind of wound up being fun with did he turn on Sunil? What happened? Hold on. The action.
Finn Balor is in treadmill mode on that show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's over. He's like as over he's going to be because he's over. I mean, the crowd loves him, but there's nothing going on. So there's, aside from like the entrance and the coup de grace when he does it, there's not a lot of pop for him.
I think that Jinder might be onto something though with this tantra meditation, peaceful stuff.
I hope so. I liked Jinder. I thought that he kind of had a raw deal when he was holding the championship with his title run. A lot of it's his fault, but I mean, they just kept giving him Randy Orton over and over again.
Triple H and The Undertaker. Anything there?
Come on.
I mean, yeah, they're manufacturing. I saw this great thing. WWE's
54-year-old Taker.
Dude, WWE's Instagram this morning. Did you hear about this?
No.
They tweeted out Triple H's top 5 feuds of all time. Number 5, The Rock. Number 4, Mick Foley. Number 3, John Cena. I can't believe I actually remember this. Number 2, Shawn Michaels. And number 1, The Undertaker. That is propaganda at its best, pal.
That is fake news.
Fake news.
That is fake news.
This just shows that they're trying to manufacture this.
And they didn't even, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't even move everything down one. They took what should be number 1 and swapped it with what's number 5. Because I think his feud with The Rock should, I mean, even on this fake list, should have been number 2.
I would go, let's just take those 5. Number 1 is Rock. Number 2 is Foley. Number 3 is Shawn Michaels. Number 4 is John Cena. And number 5 is Undertaker.
Yeah, you want to go through Undertaker's biggest feuds? Triple H isn't on that list.
Yeah.
He's not. It's Foley. It's Michaels. It's Hogan even. It's not.
Yeah, it's
not
just
Triple H.
It's just so phony. What else do we have here? Nia Jax defeated Alicia Fox.
Who knows? Maybe Tara Ryzen had some matches with Mark Calloway we don't know about
in WCW.
Yeah, maybe Mean Mark and Tara Ryzen had a hell of a feud that no one's mentioned. I would pay to see those two fight at Super Showdown. That's what I want to see. I want to see Tara Ryzen versus Mean Mark Calloway.
That will be the next WrestleMania thing. Will he be the dead man or will he be
Mean Mark?
And then Triple H, will he be the cerebral assassin or terrorizing?
Yeah. Or Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yes, my vote is for the Royal Blue Blood.
Yes.
Anything else this morning before we wrap things up? That's what I've got from the run sheet.
Pretty good. It's pretty bad news for Raw when the most interesting part of their show was an accidental Brie Bella kick to the face.
Hey, but listen, a concussion's always kind of fun.
They're always fun. And that shirt is the best. That's a good one today, right out of the gate.
It's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, pal.
Goddamn, pal. I'm going to see him in Altoona, pal.
We're going to, will you go?
I don't know. I'm not going to get the $99 package, but I'll go. It's $15 to get in.
All right, awesome. We'll be back with a SmackDown recap tomorrow right here on Post to Post.
Gilbert,